It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Man, let's start this one off this week by talking about something extremely stupid. So, I've kind of maybe done this to myself a little bit. Well, you know, I feel like here on this channel, in the comments, you people that watch the channel here, I've managed to cultivate a group of audience of people that are very kind and generous and very smart, discerning people. And that kind of makes me see the world a little bit through rose-colored lenses. And yeah, that's not the case. And I know it's not the case when I get tagged in something a whole lot. This past week, I got tagged in a video that went incredibly viral. And the video, we'll watch it here in a second. Basically, it's was posted on TikTok, got a kajillion views, posted on Twitter, 50 million views, and it's the worst quality video apparently taken in the Congo, and it's of rocks that hold electricity, and it shows them arcing electrical arcs by touching two rocks. And the comments there will make you feel like society is on the brink of collapse because people honestly think it's real. And we'll get to that here in a second, but the comments are completely nuts in every possible way. People saying that this is the ancient technology that made the people that founded the city of Atlantis, they managed to build rockets with it and leave Earth. And, oh, this is what was used to build the pyramids. And better watch out, the US government's going to invade Congo now and take this deposit of electrical rocks for infinite power. And what you're seeing there is not magical electrical rocks, because people also nicknamed it, what was it? Was it Vibranium, which is from a comic book. It was DC or Marvel superhero comics. Anyways, what you're seeing is a faked video of two guys. I bet you I wouldn't be surprised at all if they just have a wire behind the rock and they're arcing it connected to a car battery, a 12 volt, they're just arcing. And that's what that is. There's no way in the world whatsoever that you would have rocks that would be able to hold that level of electricity to where touching them to each other would create that kind of short out arc electrical popping. That just would not happen, not able to be. That is not a natural geological feature. And I blame also some of the news reports on it, where they contact an expert in a geology department somewhere, and they reach out to them for comment, and they're like, well, it seems very unlikely. I get it, they're an academic, they kind of have to say stuff like that, but come on, no way, no. It is absolutely the fakest of the fake videos, and I'm amazed by the gullibility of people to believe everything. There's definitely a theme amongst these videos, and it could be the fake Congo electrical rock videos, fake rockhounding videos that come out of China. They're always have this narrative of oh, the dumb indigenous locals who don't know anything but are experts in the way of the land. They can use their knowledge of nature to find beautiful gems in the earth and extract them. And you're come on. Okay. All right, so if that was real, and these rocks could hold that level of electrical charge, which they can't, wouldn't they be immediately discharged in the earth? Because in theory, they're sitting in a deposit connected to other rocks. Wouldn't they have arced out ages ago if that was the case? How is it that they're holding two rocks that apparently have a like stored power in them like a battery. It's not affecting them, but then it can arc between two of them. It just makes no sense by even the remotest stretch. Everybody's crazy. Completely bonkers. End of that. That said, we can now move on to some much nicer bits of conversation. Let's talk about this guy a little bit from this past week. The Slabosaurus. So, well, am I dripping? There might be a little bit of oil left on it. Here, let's put it in this thing, and we'll move it back over here. I don't want to make an oily mess. I try to keep the shop clean. So, the Slabosaurus. I am very, very happy with this. A couple of people left comments like, oh, I could make that myself. Why would I pay for that? I'm like, well, here's the thing. You go and hand tap that many holes, and if you've ever tapped that many holes, you'll know that at some point you're not going to get them in perfectly straight. Or worse, what happens is you'll be like on your second to the last hole. You know, because these are drilled and then tapped with a CNC machine. You do that by hand, I'm telling you, you're gonna break a tap off in it, and it's not gonna go well. But I really like the innovative nature of it. I know a lot of you seem to agree. I've been using it a whole bunch. I think it's an excellent fixture to have. This is that Thunderegg from that past week. I think this one's it's a very cool looking egg. Very cool. Speaking of eggs, now, if you've been a viewer here of the channel for any length of time, you may have seen some of our videos out at Rimrock Lake here in Washington, central Washington, getting Thundereggs. Now, one of the common things that I got as feedback from people that watched those videos is they're like, those Thundereggs, they're terrible, they're complete trash, they suck, don't get them, don't go there, not worth it. And to a certain degree, I would have to agree. They do not have a good ratio at that Thunderegg bed of ultra high quality eggs. Well, I feel like I cut enough of them to where I got a couple of really good, stunning eggs out of that bed. I think that's quite nice. Okay. Now, I've probably cut 30 of these, and I've gotten 2 good ones. This isn't even the best. Saving the best for last. So I've cut about 30 eggs from that bed, and I'm just now getting somewhere. I'm like, yes, this is an impressive egg. Look at that. That is beautiful. Waterline, we've got fortification. That druzy pocket. Now, if I had said this was from a different bed, people would be like, whoa, really? That's great. But no, this is from Rimrock. Now, you might have to cut 30 eggs to get a decent egg, but if you're looking at it from the perspective of having a thorough collection of Thundereggs from the Pacific Northwest, well, you got to kind of have at least one good one from all the beds. And I would say that's a good one. There are no fractures. Beautiful pocket on the inside, and I think it just generally looks quite good. Another use for the Slabosaurus fixture, which is something that I'm going to try in the future, is I want to use it with these. So, you know, like this thing can be put in an angle grinder, like a wet angle grinder, variable speed, a drill, and I want to try using it as a way of polishing really difficult stuff with that, where like it just wouldn't, like a slab, right? Like a very thin slab, something like that. I think you could use it with this. So you have that as a means of holding it and you're polishing it like that. I think that's another secondary option for the Slabosaurus that maybe when we get some nicer weather, we'll be able to do some of that. I think that'd be really, really good. I watched a video this past week, a very, very good video. And it was one of Lapidary Dave's videos that he did with, I don't know, is he an owner? The Spencer Opal mine, one of the, I guess it's the grandson of the owners of the Spencer Opal mine down at the Quartzite show. And talk about an excellent video. Lapidary Dave knocked the ball out of the park with that one. And it was great for me because if you recall, a while ago, I received some Spencer Opal. And I was like, I don't know, there's a lot of like bad information about Opal on the internet. Like, and one thing that I took away from little band of, can you see that band of precious in there? One of the things I took away from that video was them talking about how stable this is. Unlike a lot of Opal, like you can just get this wet and it's totally fine, which I didn't really know that. You know, there's just a lot of like really bad info about Opal on the internet. So I would like to try doing something with some of this. I think that would be a lot of fun. So that was neat. When you're done here, go check out Lapidary Dave's video. I'll drop a link down below because it was like, it's really good. I learned a whole lot about Opal from the Spencer Opal mine, and now it makes me want to make a visit out to the Spencer Opal mine. You know, I received a lovely care package this week, and it's extra lovely because there was something in it not just for me, but for Leica as well. There was a great dog treat in there, and while we don't give her super meaty treats usually, so it's an extra treat for her, and she loved it. So thank you so much. I don't know. I always feel awkward naming names on here, but Laura, thank you very much for that. And sent, you know, knowing me, she knows that I like books. I love things like this. These like old kind of like books, pamphlets and stuff, they are so much fun to look through. They always have like the coolest illustrations that you just like don't see anymore. Maybe not that one. Of course, I pick one that I can't immediately flip to it. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about some of these old books where I love flipping through them. It's like the smell of the old books, all of it. It's just, it's fun. It's very fun. So thank you very much for that. There's also a map included, which if I unfold this, it'll be like, I'm going to like bury this whole area, right? Yeah, so the Rimrock Thundereggs, I'm definitely, after seeing these, I'm definitely going back to Rimrock. I think it's a bed worth going back to again. I just see it takes a lot of cutting to get something good. A lot of cutting. And she sent a slab and was curious what my thoughts were on it. And my thoughts are that this is purely a piece of chalcedony. I tossed it under the microscope and it just seems like a slab of chalcedony, which is very cool. I have an idea of what I'm going to do with it, being that it's very thin. So thank you very, very much. It's very kind of you. It's always people are so smart and so generous. They're not like the people on TikTok believing in magical rocks filled with free electricity. I did something kind of fun this week. I entirely disassembled my high-tech flat lap. And on the inside of it, here we go. Okay, so I disassembled my high-tech flat lap. And one thing with all machines is you'll hit like, especially a variable speed machine like the high-tech flat lap, you'll hit a point where there's like a resonance of the machine and it'll like vibrate a little. I was like, well, how can I fix that? I disassembled it, and on the inside of the bell, I placed some butyl sound deadening mat, which, oh my gosh, I'm gonna put this on everything. So I've used this as a product before, and you can just like buy it wherever, and it's all kind of the same. And oh my gosh, it made the machine so quiet. So it's just like a big sticker, right? It's just like a big adhesive sticker, but it's like heavy and thick, and it just like tamps down on the vibration that you would get out of a machine. Typically the way stuff's used, like maybe you've seen it on the inside of like the trunk of a car. Like you take the spare tire out and like maybe you'll see in the, what do you call that? The spare tire area? The bowl? I don't know. You can see that matting, and it works wonders. It works wonders for just like cutting all the vibrations. I have a couple other uses for that. So that's kind of fun. I'm excited about that. It is very, 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 very quiet to use, and I love it. It's a good machine, and now I like it even a little bit more, right? I've thought about titles somewhat, and like titles are useful at times for kind of like describing yourself or describing another person, like that. I would say that based on the things that I know, I could call myself an amateur mineralogist. Once you get to a point with minerals where like you can kind of like do all the tests, non-electronic tests, and you have an understanding of all the different features and crystal structures, and you can eyeball stuff, and you can have a microscope that you can use, you're practicing amateur mineralogy. You're not making money studying minerals, you're an amateur. And there's a problem though, and that is this gap between amateur and professional mineralogy. Modern professional mineralogists have like several $1 million of tools at their disposal to aid them in the process of studying minerals. And then, a good example of that would be, an X-ray fluorescence machine, X-ray diffraction, Raman spectrometer, an electron microscope, a micro probe. All of these things, it's just like printing money. You gotta like have a lot of money to get these things. So there's this huge gap of knowledge. Usually they have a background in chemistry as well, or taken some basic chemistry classes, mathematics. There's a lot to it. So there's this big chasm, right? And I've been looking for something to help me bridge that. I got this week, and it's a chunky book, and so it's from 1968, I believe, and it is amazing. Yes, I'm only like 30 pages in, okay, but even in the beginning of the book, John is like, there's this massive gap between amateurs and professionals. This is to help bridge that gap. So I'm looking forward to ripping through this. I don't know if I'll be ripping through it the way I do most books. I don't want to, like toot my own horn here, but the two things in life that I think I excel at would be my ability to read something and my ability to immediately memorize that thing. Those are the two things that I'm gifted in. Nothing else. Just my ability to read something and then remember it for the rest of my life. So this will be really helpful because I'm never gonna own those machines. The one thing, a Raman spectrum analyzer, there's the Open Raman project. That would be something great where I could build my own. But that's like, when's that gonna happen, right? But the idea is very cool. But to have something that kind of bridges this big gap will be very good for me, and I'm looking forward to reading this book. Well, thanks everybody. This coming week there'll be a fun video. Stay tuned for that. And weather is nice today. I'll leave this one here. I'm gonna go outside and play with the dog. All right, y'all. Y'all take care, and I will catch you in the next video.